Well, welcome friends and family, and first of all a big thank you for coming and helping us celebrate this very special day. As you'll appreciate, some people unfortunately were unable to make it today, and I would like to take this opportunity to remember absent friends. Now this next bit wasn't in my original speech, but we did have an unwanted gate crasher, and this was at about 6 o'clock this morning, when we were all at home, and I was just waking up, and I thought, everybody's had a good night's sleep, so we were nice and refreshed for the day, the nerves weren't too bad. The coolest person in the house was, but nevertheless, the alarm went off in the house. I flew out of bed, almost broke my neck going down the stairs, to find that a spider had waved its web over one of the infrared lights and set off the alarm. I'm only hoping it was a money spider, and that it will bring good fortune to those who it deserved. I again look to my left. Now going back to my planned part of the speech, looking around the room, there are many of you who've travelled a long way today, and it really is appreciated that you've made that effort. The other thing is, an observation around the room, there's so many doctors in this room. It's almost a BMA conference. I think the rest of us should say to ourselves, be reassured, and those of you old enough to remember this television programme, there's a doctor in the house. It's funny how things happen, and that we're here today at Headley Hall, because when we moved to Darlington as a family 20 years ago, Caroline was a 6-year-old little girl who spent her first night before studying her new school in this very hotel. Then she was an excited and apprehensive young lady, or young girl, very looking forward to her first day at the new school, dressed in her new school uniform, and here she is today, dressed, I'm sure you all agree, a beautiful bride. Yeah. Julie and I have been really lucky to have 2 daughters, Caroline and Helen, in whom we are very proud. They are very close, and Helen is today's chief bridesmaid. Today, of course, is Caroline and Patty's Day, and many of you have seen Caroline grow up and have known her all her life. Grandparents and godparents are here with us today, which is very nice. We can recall from an early age that Caroline loved music and dance. And a couple of weeks ago, on a visit back to Darlington, we sat and laughed at some homemade videos of Caroline singing and dancing. Now, I'm afraid my dancing and singing skills are not very good. But again, bear in mind this is a lot of years ago, there was a top 10 hit called Hey Mickey. And Caroline worked out a routine to this, which went something like, hey Mickey, you're so... And at that time, she was then trying to get her less than 1-year-old sister to join in, and getting very annoyed when she would say, no, you do it like this. But we did have a nice evening watching these old movies. Dance lessons and music lessons and exams followed in plenty. And even though Caroline's grown up and lived away for a few years now from home, it's still been based, but I cannot get her to empty her bedroom. And the walls are still literally covered in certificates. One day I'm hoping that I might get back the room. Also from a very young age, Caroline has set aside some becoming a doctor. Her granny tells the story. Her granny tells the story of one day Caroline was dressed in a nurse's uniform, playing, and Granny said to her, Caroline, you'll make a good nurse. And Caroline's reply was quite to the point, Granny, I'm going to be a doctor. And as we all know, that happened. And it was whilst at Sheffield University studying medicine that she met Patrick, as we all fondly know him, Patch. What can I say about that? Well, I'll leave that really to the best man. But really, what I will and want to say is he is a very caring individual who Julie and I know will and has in the past looked after Caroline when needed. He'll be there for her. They are without doubt well suited and, as they say, a good match and completely complement each other. We are very proud to welcome Patch into our family and welcome him as a son-in-law. So welcome. Robin and Marion, the parents of Patch, as you all know, they can rightly be proud of how their son has turned out. Julie and I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Robin and Marion for their support. Greatly appreciate that. Today is all about celebrating Caroline and Patch's union, the bringing together of two families, but it's also an occasion for relatives and friends to get together, reminisce and have a good old catch-up. Often this isn't possible, but occasions like this provide such an opportunity. Many of us live many miles apart, and that's one of the reasons we can't see each other as often as we like. Despite the miles, of course, it's memories like today, these special days, that will help to bridge that gap. This will be especially important in the near future, because as a lot of you, or most of you will know, Caroline and Patch are going to live and work in New Zealand for the next 5 or 6 years. They will be great in this, but we recognise what a great opportunity this is for them. With modern technology, Skype, etc., it will enable us all to maintain regular and frequent contact with them. And hopefully we'll have a few visits down under. We all wish you good luck in your adventure. And Natalie, who's with us at table 2, has travelled all the way from New Zealand with a friend to be with us, and that's fantastic. A special thank you for how you looked after Caroline and Patch on their visits to you in the past and the help that you've given them. And I know you will do in the future. Special thank you. Julie and I wish everybody here today well and hope you enjoy the day, this special day with us. We also like to thank everybody who has helped with today's arrangements and planning, including the hotel, David, Andrew, Jill and their staff. Finally, in closing, we wish the bride and groom, Caroline and Patch, a long, healthy, happy future together. Have fun. Will you please raise your glasses to Caroline and Patch?